Anyway, we are moving into ESV Kedaria, and this is game 1 of Group D between our good friends shrOOmy and VulcaN.
Indeed, and this is on ESV Kedaria, which is a 4 players map.
Indeed it is.
But I can't say whether this is it a map of the size of Antigua Shipyard, is it?
It's a little bit bigger than Antigua Shipyard when you consider that Antigua does actually have quite a large area of dead space around each of the mains, here, and here, which is quite often abusable by any kind of Mutalisk or Phoenix play, as you would see in these games. However, this map has quite a considerable amount less dead space, and therefore is actually a little bit bigger. Not too much though. Anyway, let's introduce these players. We see here, not going for any type of cheese thus far, we have in the bottom left-hand position, playing in the fetching Zerg pieces, in that lovely shade of purple, we have Fusion Slugs, shrOOmy. In the bottom right-hand side, spending his first Chrono Boost on Den Probes, after building his first pylon. Making probes, making pylons, not getting supply blocked. True sign of a good Protoss. We do see Fusion Slugs VulcaN.
VulcaN. So he's actually a gold league player, while shrOOmy is in silver league, isn't it?
Indeed. VulcaN was previously a platinum player, but following a long period of inactivity, he actually did get demoted. But as you can see by this very nice timing on the forge, he's actually still retained quite a lot of his old skill. So shrOOmy is not going to have an easy match this game.
So one thing I'm puzzled, recently studying a bit more the PvZ matchup, he threw down a 15 forge, right? But when you scout a Zerg player that starts with a very late pool, you actually go for a Nexus first in most of the matchup. Isn't it a better reaction to the non-pooling Zerg?
Well, that would actually be quite good, but you notice that his probe didn't actually arrive until the pool was about to start. And from the time it would actually take a Nexus to complete, to getting enough minerals to build your forge and then your gateway, we may be seeing VulcaN go for a quick cannon here, because he knows that out of this pool you can easily get 6 Zerglings, which if you went for Nexus first, would arrive before the first cannon completes.
Indeed. Well, I noticed, I actually first thought, watching at the map, that the path from shrOOmy's base to VulcaN's base would be very short, but actually I realized that if he actually works on the rocks on the way, it would make actually that path very, very short, and would actually increase his chance of having very, very strong counter-attack or anything like that.
In the meantime though, most players will have to go up here by the central watchtower to actually make it towards each other's base. And we do see a very quick Roach Warren and gas coming out. We're going to see a Roach bust.
One thing I don't understand though is that VulcaN is not throwing his gateway, but he is already having his 2 gases on the gas geysers.
Well, we saw this last game, he went for a very quick Stargate style of play, so that could be his intention here, and frankly, this very fast tech is going to make him suffer. He is trying to cannon rush this natural, which is a very nice play, and it will now be spotted with the cannon about to complete. But with a number of roaches underway, it's not actually going to make that much of a difference.
Indeed. So how many roaches do you have? 3? It's only 3 with roach though, but is it going to be enough? With 2 cannons, he's already killed like 1 drone right now. He's got 3, yeah.
As it is, he's actually making quite a large mistake by revealing these roaches. If he were to actually rally these across the map, he loses the queen. Oh, that's a huge loss here. Is this cannon going to be finished in time?
Yes.
Yes, it finishes in time to do some damage, but now the pylon is gone. With actually fairly minimal losses, you consider it's 400 resources invested into this attack, and he's only managed to kill off basically 250 resources worth of damage.
And
however,
he's only throwing down the Koreign core right now, which means that the Stargate, quick Stargate is not going to come as quick as wanted, I guess.
But what I'm very surprised by here is VulcaN is not actually throwing down any kind of defensive cannons, despite actually seeing that there is a very sizable number of roaches that could be heading his way.
Indeed.
Perhaps he doesn't know the timing quite so well, but indeed there's going to be one zealot by the time these roaches arrive. They're probably going to wait around this area, group up, and then when these extra 2 roaches arrive, it's going to be a 6 roach bust straight up into the main.
That is right, but we can see that shrOOmy is actually way down in terms of worker count. He only has 21 against 33 for VulcaN.
Indeed.
Which is actually a very big difference for a Zerg player, even if he's going for an all-in.
You see the attack underway here. He's going to be able to kite these zealots back away from the cannon. He does lose 1 roach, but with these 5 roaches, he actually could take out this 1 cannon right now.
That's right.
He needs to push up this ramp right now and try to take this out.
He needs to target fire the...
He's target firing the sentry, a nice choice, and a cancel on the cannon.
He should not chase that.
He should not be chasing the sentry. He should target this down, and he does. He's going to lose 1 roach for his trouble, but now he is actually inside the base. There's going to be stalkers underway, and Immortal will be chrono boosted out here, but these 3 roaches can actually do a good amount of damage to these probes.
That's right. I'm watching the number of worker killed right now, 6 in total for SPS VulcaN. He's actually evening the worker count at the moment.
Indeed.
And that robo is going to be able to control the damage right now, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to come back in.
He's trying to focus down the pylon. 1 chrono boost and this Immortal will complete. Yep, this Immortal should complete just in time, and does just in time to finish this up. And while there are roaches being rallied across the map right now, it's actually probably going to be way too late. As we do see, looking in shrOOmy's main, he forgot Zergling speed.
Oh, but he doesn't have any Zerglings at the moment though, so I would forgive him for that. He's got six roaches walking up the ramp, but now with 3 gates and 1 robo up to date, and a cannon soon to become, I think VulcaN is going to be so safe.
Indeed. VulcaN's going to be perfectly safe from this. The Stalker gets taken out. He may lose this Immortal if he's not careful.
Yeah, but
he's just regained power to these gateways. Chrono boosting out the 2nd Immortal if possible. Is he? He's going to get this Immortal. This is huge! Now, he will take out the remainder of these roaches in the main, but losing that Immortal is huge at this early stage, because we see Zerglings and roaches are arriving now to take out this cannon at the natural, and then actually continue the pressure into the main.
Exactly, shrOOmy is indeed continuing the pressure, but I'm not sure. Immortals and Stalkers against that. Oh
Indeed.
My gosh.
2 Stalkers and an Immortal will absolutely murder 4 roaches.
Oh, you're so right.
Nicely microing back, and this pressure is over. If shrOOmy tries to press this advantage any further, it's not going to work. He's literally going to be throwing units away. Moving down to take his 3rd on the back of this, quite a nice transition, but we do see that after fending off that rather early push, VulcaN should actually be quite safe and able to take up to an Immortal sentry push.
Well, I think that he should actually just keep on warping in stuffs and Immortals, like you said, and just go for the kill, because right now, in terms of worker count, 30 only for shrOOmy on 3 base. That means none of his bases is gonna be nearly saturated at all, and VulcaN has way too much gas at the moment, so he should probably stop the mining guys' gas and just go for a mass zealot warping. He could go for the kill right now, I think. No spines crawlers for...
He's going to push out very soon. He's got his warp prism underway. Should be seeing an observer pretty soon as well.
That's right.
Perhaps park it by the ramp by the natural to just check for any creep spread or units. Move in against the 3rd and then move the observer up to the main while he pushes the natural. But I cannot see any way for shrOOmy to fend this off. Going for a large number of Stalkers, what I would like to see, given his gas build-up right now, is to see him complete these gateways. He's got 7 in total now.
Yeah.
I'd actually like to see him go for a massive warping of sentries and spend this gas.
Yeah,
because
or he could
literally, if he warped in...
Templar oriented.
Indeed, if he warped in 7 sentries now, that's easily going to give him enough to fend off any kind of attack. and definitely he should be able to take out this natural. We do see that shrOOmy, he's got some kind of sense that something bad and something big is coming his way. But oh, you don't want to go down that ramp. Oh no!
Outside of the base, that was a brilliant move. And look at that, how the Immortal's gonna take out all of these roaches so easily. Look at this. Oh my gosh. How many kills on the Immortal? 9 kills for that Immortal. The hero Immortal is back.
More Stalkers being walked in. There is a hatchery completed with a Queen injecting. But literally, against this composition, you need Speedlings, and he still has not researched Zergling speed.
He did.
We see on the back of this, VulcaN's not doing anything. He's going all in with this. He is just going to continue warping in Stalkers and Sentries. He's taken out the hatchery. Soon he'll force field this ramp to make sure that these drones don't get away. Or will he?
Well, he doesn't have to fear anything now because he can control everything. He's pretty in managing.
Indeed. He's just warping units into the main. Yeah, good game. Game 1 over. We see VulcaN taking the advantage 1-0 over Fusion Slug shrOOmy. Now, moving into ESV Muspelheim, otherwise known as a 1-1-1's Wet Dream.
Oh, I love that game, you know that?
1-1-1?
Yeah.
They're often quite short, about 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Which is why so many people on the Korean server love it.
Muspelheim it's a 2-player map. That means you know where your opponent is. That means cheese is highly recommended.
Well, you never know. I have been known to proxy 2-gate in my time, but it's not me playing this game. Would you be kind enough to introduce the players?
Sure. So on the top left side of the map, we have our dear blue Zerg, FS shrOOmy, Fusion Slug.
Woo!
Woohoo! Clap for him, man. Just once. If you look at the bottom right side in red, we have FS VulcaN, the red Protoss, who actually took out 1 game out of shrOOmy, resisting to a very intense roach bust, but it didn't go through. He forgot his link speed, so he couldn't get back. But anyway, FS VulcaN actually did it very well. And like you said, right now he's not supply blocked, he's actually starting a wall off, so he's gonna go for another type of expansion, quick expansion. And I still do not see any kind of pull for FS shrOOmy, which means that it's not going to be a cheesy type of play. It's going to be a macro-oriented kind of play, I'm guessing.
It would seem that way. We're up to 13 drones, soon going to be up to 14. We're going to be seeing a pretty safe macro game, or at least a macro style of opening. We see Forge Fast Expand coming out of VulcaN right now, and we see, oh, he caught the probe. Very nice catch from the drones of shrOOmy.
He did?
Indeed, he caught the scanning probe. If we look at the units lost tab, oh, see that death.
That's 1-0 for shrOOmy.
And we see shrOOmy, oh, going for pull then gas, both on 15.
That's an all-in.
Quite possibly. He could be going for some kind of mass speedling play, or he could actually be going for a fast 3 base where he's going to attempt to deny a kind of 4-gate or early pressure push from his opponent. We see VulcaN being quite cautious, throwing down that cannon, then that gateway. He should be safe to a speedling opener in this case. However, he is actually going to be limited on the number of units he gets out should a roach bust come his way. And even though he does have this probe in the main, it's entirely possible that a set of lings built here could just chase it away. We see shrOOmy throwing down that hatchery. Is he going to throw down a roach warren? I'm watching this production tab like a hawk here.
Well,
and still no nexus. There it goes. Yeah, he could cancel the hatchery and actually turn it into some kind of all-in play, but the lack of lings on the map would actually set off alarm bells for VulcaN. We do see that the gas mining is continuing. Is shrOOmy going to go for a quick lair? Is he going to go for a baneling nest? Or is he actually going to stockpile this gas and go for roaches? Given he hasn't started link speed yet, I'm actually quite inclined to go for the roach route again.
Yes, you think so?
I believe so.
he's actually going for 2 queens also, and that means that indeed it's going to be a very intense macro play. We have the Nexus already more than half done for FS VulcaN. He's also having his gas geyser now, in contrary to the other game where he threw down the gas geyser before the core.
Indeed.
And he still doesn't have any units in production, but I'm guessing that...
Wait, what a bit, Banelings!
Yes,
We're gonna have a
Baneling.
Baneling bust! And Ling speed, here we go. We're gonna see a Baneling bust out of this man.
Is he going to scout it? Because there's absolutely no Zerglings to deny.
Indeed.
To deny the scout, so he could be able to actually see it if he actually managed to pull that probe out.
Well, provided
One at
this
the tower.
queen is quite active, if he moves it here near the ramp, he should be able to deny scouting of this. But what he doesn't want to do is send 8 or 9 sets of Lings out into the map immediately. He wants to secure these watchtowers, find this probe, and then take a position, probably here by the 3rd base, to set up for his eventual push into here. But with 2 cannons and a Zealot on the way, it's possible that this bust could not do too much.
Well, let's see if he managed to get out enough sentries. I would say yes, and if he managed to actually reinforce the wall after upon seeing that the Baniness is actually being constructed, but
and a layer. Wow.
+1 attack for the Zerglings. 20 Zerglings done now.
Is he going to go for Baneling speed bust?
What would that be useful for?
That would be useful for actually getting the Banelings past these cannons. Perhaps VulcaN's not watching the mini-map. A Baneling could walk in, kill this Zealot, and actually reach all of the sentries before his opponent would have time to react. But no, we see 7 Banelings warping in right now. Warping in? Morphing in. And we could be seeing this. Perhaps he's going to be throwing down a Spire behind this, because he does have quite a lot of gas intake. If he takes his 2nd, 3rd and 4th geysers, he could actually get quite a lot of gas to build Mutalisks.
Transition towards the Mutalisk, he's going to have to take those 3rd and 4th gas. He's also throwing down a Spine Crawler at his base, so I'm not sure if if he saw something to be worried about a counterattack from FS VulcaN. There's a very aggressive proxy pylon.
Indeed.
That has been warped by VulcaN, but is he aware that Baneling burst is gonna come? I don't think he has anything coming down.
Well, we do see that VulcaN's going for a 7-gate push. This could well be a straight up all-in. So the Spine Crawler is actually going to be necessary, but just 1 is not enough. shrOOmy needs to attack, and he needs to do it right now.
And indeed, look at that. The attack is coming down on the base of shrOOmy.
And all these Lings are going to get intercepted. shrOOmy has to start this attack right now. He's moving the Banelings and the Zerglings back to defend. This is completely the wrong option for what he needs to do.
I think so too. But he eventually will be able to damage control and kill most of the Stalkers with his Zerglings, which is a good thing.
He will be able to pick off this pylon and a few of these Stalkers, yes. And actually, this may have been the right choice, given that we do see VulcaN chose to go for Stalkers rather than Zealots with his warp in. We see 3 more Zealots being warped in now, but this may not be enough. We see the Zealots have been cleared up, the Banelings are moving in to attack here. And should the Banelings get some good hits on these Zealots, VulcaN has not seen these Banelings yet.
Throw down the Banelings now, because those Zealots will advance instantly to that. Look at this,
and that's massive damage. However, the attack continues, the Banelings are all gone. And shrOOmy needs more Banelings, he needs them now, because this many Zealots are going to rip through these Zerglings with +1 attack.
Nice surround, look at that, he managed to have enough.
It's a beautiful surround, but looking at the units lost, although he's quite even, he has a much greater unit count than his opponent.
Indeed. Spine Chronos is finished now, he's going to be able to defend ban, I think, against the Zealots. Easy going to...
Quite possibly. He does have a few extra Zerglings running in now to attack. His Fang Claw doing massive damage, but again, more and more Zealots. 7 gateways is just too much to deal with at this point. The drones being pulled, we're going to be seeing a good game very, very soon behind this. We see a lot more Zerglings, the Creams coming down the ramp, more Zealots, and even Infestors are underway, but it's just too late for Infestors to do anything significant right now.
And GG's called! GG!
Good game.
Well done to FS VulcaN!